Hello, this is Greg Galson from Green Greg, coming to you on the 17th of August, 21. Time on deck, 20:06 hours Central Daylight Time. Who is the real winner in this Afghanistan fall, of the takeover of the Taliban? Well, the Taliban, but there may be another winner, and it may be China. And what they're doing, the moves they're making, are very significant and may very much affect us. Did you realize that the Afghanistan's estimated to have from $1 to $3 trillion worth of the rare earth minerals that China is trying to lock up, really, in terms of supply. Now, the people of Afghanistan really aren't equipped to take advantage of that, to mine it and industrialize it, but China is. And China is making inroads there. And China also may stand to gain our technology and to have other benefits out of this whole arrangement, including pointing out to our allies that we are not a worthy ally. And they've even told Taiwan that they should be trembling in fear over this. Tell them that the United States will not back you up. So there's all kind of ramifications, all kind of fallout over the fall of Kabul, over the fall of Afghanistan, and our retreat that we have started in that area. Now, we're going to get all into that, but this can all come home in many ways, many ways, my friends. Not just one way or two ways or three ways, there are many ways this can affect us. And we're going to talk about that with special emphasis tonight on the China connection. But we'll go a little bit more into a little bit of the other areas, and we'll expound on this some more in the future on some of these other areas. But the China connection is unique, and it poses a special threat to the United States. So, guys, this is part of my eyes wide open and head on a swivel series, so that you can know that you need to get ready, and you need to get ready now. Now is the time to prep and prepare, because there's a lot of stuff coming at us from a lot of different directions, and it's starting to get intense. It is really starting to ratchet up, my friends. I mean, from the mandatory things that are want to push upon us to, oh my gosh, it's too much. It's just too much. So, guys, but I try to help you there, because there's a proposition the channel help you survive, thrive, and stay out of the hive. I do bring you videos about these topics, various aspects of it, and my analysis. And many times I bring you some of the top guests of any channel out there. You know, from Dr. Peter Vincent-Pry to guys like General Krosniak, to Command Sergeant Major Michael Mabee, to Ambassador Hank Cooper, who once ran Ronald Reagan's Star Wars program. He was a Pentagon level head of the SDIO, Strategic Defense Initiative Organization. He's done more hard and power grid than anybody. So, but I also bring you things that you need to know: how to get by, how to survive. And we also cover things about what to do to stop these things from happening, but as much as we can. But hey, I bring you videos about how to garden. You really do. How to garden without having to go to the store to buy stuff. I have to use worms. How to eat free from the weeds and the trees. I also covered going to the big box stores. But guys, that may not be enough. You better be prepping. You better be prepping now. It takes time to learn the gardening skills. You can get seeds from my Tree Leaf Market link below. But right now, I'm going to tell you, check that out. You can still do a fall garden. But right now, I got to tell you, I got a special on food that's lasts 25 years. This is lightweight. It's easy to store. It's easy to carry. It's easy to bug in or bug out with, because it's lightweight. It's freeze dried. It's real food, though. It's not fake stuff. It's not mushy stuff. This is stuff that you can be happy to eat. And it's 2,000 calories a day. See my recent interview with John Hollerman. This is a lot more than most of these food companies that will give you what you're getting a year's supply, or how many months. They're like 800 calories a day, 2,000 calories a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, drinks and desserts. This will make you a winner, guys. $300 off a 3-month supply, which is 6 buckets of these. 2 buckets is a 1-month supply, and you get about 25% off of that. Guys, the price is great considering what you're getting. So go to prepwithgreg.com for that deal. Prepwithgreg.com. And if you go to prepwithgreg.com and click on the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the screen, it'll take you into their website. I still get credit because you went in through my prepwithgreg.com, and you can get all kind of options of vegan, gluten-free, low carb, meat eaters. So there's a lot of options there. You can get year supplies of stuff. You can get them into big number 10 cans. Many ways you can get this stuff, and many other prep and supplies. And now is the time to prep. So, all right, so let's go on with this now, guys. Yes, $1 to $3 trillion in assets in minerals, strategic rare earth minerals in Afghanistan, and probably a lot of other minerals too in those mountains. They've not been adequately explored and developed in these areas, but that's the estimates. Plus the technology and our weapon systems that were left behind that can be used against us in a direct conflict with China. But now they got a lot of our stuff, and just the sheer number of armaments that are now in the hands of the Taliban. Oh yeah, and what you don't know is the Taliban was already worth a few billion from their connections with the opium trade. We're getting billions out of that. So the Taliban is not exactly poor. And with China supporting them, they may be able to rebuild and build some serious infrastructure. Who knows? With that kind of money and resources available, especially if they're capitalizing on working in conjunction with China to mine those. See, we should have been over there developing that stuff for them and helping them to get their part of that nation building. But no, we didn't do that. And somebody recently said in a TV interview in the last day or two, I'm not going to quote names, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about, says we weren't there to nation build. Well, maybe that was part of the problem. Well, also part of the problem was we didn't go over there understanding one of the key things to the people there, one of the most fundamental thing to the people there is their religion. The religion is their life. It's the most important thing for them. You can't go over there and deal with them if you ignore that. And yet that's how Americans operate. And so we never were seen in a good light in the first place because we all too often just totally ignored that. And often we flaunted things in their faces that they found very offensive. It's one thing to do that over here where people accept that kind of stuff, and I'm not saying that's right either. But when you go to another country and you're trying to deal with them and you're flaunting things in their face that offends them, you're not going to get their hearts and minds. You're not going to get them on your side. You are going to turn them against you, especially when you go in with predator drones attacking wedding parties because you're going after one person, you wipe out, dozens of people on that wedding party. No, you're making enemies and you're making lots of them. And we were really good at that. And so we've got an area now in the world which is now more heavily armed than they were when we went in the first time, and they are hating us more than they did. But we think everything's going to be okay. We're going to pull out and they're going to be civil and happy and they're not going to do anything. Okay, but what's China doing? That's the topic of this video. So I'm going to share some articles here. I hope my computer don't crash. I hit the share button like it did yesterday and I had to start over. Yeah, I got an ancient computer here. Pardon me. Some people say I'm talking loud. I'm deaf in my left ear for one. If I talk too loud, I know I drown the microphone out. I don't have the money right now to get a computer that this is no computer. I need to get a newer computer. I just don't have the money to do it yet. So just hang on with me, guys. Bear with me. So just listen, turn your volume up. I'm bringing you good content here like nobody else. So let's go over here and share these articles. Yeah, where's it at? There it is. So hang on. Try to expand this out. We haven't crashed yet. Still no. But I am right at the peak of the memory. All right. China dispatches warships and troops toward Taiwan while world's back is turned. So while we're distracted by with our current focus on Afghanistan, let's see this kind of stuff. That don't play well in the Islamic world. It's all over our media. They consider us decadent. Now, they got their own bills going on over there, but if we do it, it's so open. These kind of things, guys, that just don't fly. But anyway, aside from all that, some of my cases and points, the stuff we flaunt in our culture so openly is in the front of them. Anyway, all right, enough said for that. Current focus on Afghanistan's the whole thing on. I gotta get this straight. I'm sorry. What the point is here is that while we're focused on Afghanistan, China is doing military drills for the purpose of intimidating Taiwan. So they've come in real close to Taiwan with warships and fighter jets, exercising off the southwest and southeast coast of the islands. And Beijing said it has been prompted by external interference and provocations. That's what China's claim are, that we have provoked them or somehow, and so they're going to go rattle their sabers over there in response to it. You know, this could be a prelude to an invasion for all we know. And so this is what's going on. The PLA's Eastern Theater Command said warships, anti-submarine aircraft, fighter jets have been dispatched close to Taiwan to carry out joint fire assault and other drills using actual troops. Assault drills. Now, why would you do assault drills? Only if you're planning and working toward starting an assault. Yeah. So Taiwan's defense minister said that the nation's military has full grasp and has made a full assessment of the situation in the Taiwan Strait region, as well as related developments of the sea and air, and are prepared for the various responses. So Taiwan says, okay, buddy, if you want to bring it on, we're prepared. So this is not pretty, guys. So China not only told yesterday Taiwan that they should be trembling in fear, they're over there rattling the sabers, running all around them, practicing assault operations right off the coast of their island. So after Kabul, China exploits perceptions of American weakness. This isn't the Hill. As I mentioned before, the Hill is a newspaper you'll find scattered all over the tables and the luncheon areas of the Capitol buildings, all the Senate office buildings, House office buildings. This is a Capitol Hill newspaper up there, but here it's a website. So if the U.S. cannot even secure a victory in a rivalry with small countries, how much better can it do with a major power game with China? Asked the Communist Party's Global Times on Monday. Now, the Global Times is the voice of the Chinese Communist Party. And we'll often see that where their head editor, Hu, H-U, is often attacking the United States, Taiwan, and so forth. He may be quoted in this article down below. He's quite often quoted. I've quoted him many times on many of my videos. So, guys, this is what's happened. So, his biggest intention is to focus on China pulling as many U.S. military forces as possible in the Indo-Pacific region, the Global Times reported, talking about our President Biden. So they're going to focus on him, according to Joe Biden. See, grand strategy seems flawless and inspiring for Washington until the U.S.'s epic defeat and chaotic retreat in Afghanistan mirrored how shaky it is. So it's really, what they're saying is it's really shaky. We put up a big talk, but we got nothing behind it. That's what they're accusing us of, see? So where will China strike next? Yeah, Taiwan has been a main focus of their propaganda for some time. That we know. That we know. I'm not in here to read this whole article, guys, but I'm not going to just read an article out here entirely. There are YouTube channels that do that, by the way. They'll put up their own pictures, but they will actually read from a pre-existing article I would have read earlier, every word for word. And that's kind of like plagiarism. I mean, I'll scan some of them, and yeah, you see these ads in here. This is why, these kind of ads are awful, and this is one of the reasons the Islamic world looks down on us, guys. I mean, if we're going to go over there and deal with them, we got to deal with them on their terms, and don't insult them. I mean, you don't have to agree with them, but don't insult them. If you're trying to make peace with them and trying to deal with them, you don't start out by insulting. You can't do that with anybody. That doesn't even make good sense, but that's how we operate. And it's just not smart. All right, I'm not even gonna scroll down here because these ads in here are offensive even to me. Holy smoke. All right, but you see what I'm saying? And this is supposed to be our Capitol Hill rag here, and it's got awful ads in it. So there we are. The Taliban has access to U.S. military aircraft. Now what happens? What did I say? I told you this guy yesterday, guys. All this stuff I told you yesterday, we're seeing in articles coming out today. This is what I said last night. And I said this, before you saw anybody else talking about it. And here it is. Once the Taliban seized control of Afghan's airfield in Kandahar on Friday, it It didn't take long for photos to appear of these Taliban guys posing with all these aircraft. And that's what it's saying, you know, from A-29 attack plane to the MD 530 utility helicopter. So there's a lot of helicopters, airplanes, and here, guys, not Cadillac CT5s though. These commercials, holy smoke! And there they are, guys. Here they are. So that picture was from 2 days ago. During a briefing at the Pentagon, Major General Hank Taylor, Joint Chief of Staff Deputy Director for Regional Operations, said he had no information about whether the U.S. military would take steps to prevent aircraft or other military equipment from being captured or used by the Taliban. Dude, they already got it. Where are you at? Get your head out of here. And look around for a change. How about you open your eyes wide up, putting your head on swivel, Mr. Major General Hank Taylor, the Joint Chief of Staff? Oh, you work for General Miley. No wonder. General Milley Vanilli. Oh my gosh. General Milley ought to resign. And maybe you ought to go with him there, Major General Hank Taylor. Yeah. Bradley Bowman, a former Black Hawk pilot who served in Afghanistan, has sharply criticized the U.S. withdrawal, told Defense News there's no doubt they captured hundreds of Humvees, artillery, and other equipment and aircraft. I've also heard from sources, I was in another telecon today with a military guy talking about they got so much ammunition. They got rifles, you know, they got the M16, you know, A2s, M4s, just tons of rifles, so many rifles that they're actually throwing away their AK-47s because they got all this American equipment now, American ammo. Yeah, and he says this should be deeply troubling to Americans, not only because we help fund those and provide those, but because how the Taliban could benefit. Okay, this started out to be about China. This article. Okay, yeah, I'm just making a point here. But the part of this point is this technology, a lot of this stuff, when there's technology in these aircraft, expect to see that in China now. Expect to see that in China. So that is what I'm getting to here. Oh yeah, the Afghan Air Force operated 23 A-29 attack planes, 4 C-31 cargo planes, a total of 33 militarized versions of Cessna Caravan. Oh well, a lot of different things here. We'll have to see how all this comes out, but this is concerning, very concerning. Those characteristics that made it fit for the Afghan Air Force, which were being built from the ground up, but not as technology that can threaten the U.S. military in the future agreements. Yeah, okay, it says General Mark Kelly. We shall find out. We shall find out, guys. But needless to say, they're very well armed now, at a minimum. Now, here we go. China may align itself, network here. This is something we already knew. This is just an article I found in my searching. China may align itself with Taliban and try to exploit Afghanistan's rare earth metals. Analyst warns. It didn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. We knew this ahead of time, guys. But you know, here it is. Rare earth metals, Afghanistan were estimated to be worth between $1 to $3 trillion in 2020. And most of us already knew that. Only hours after Taliban overran Afghanistan, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson says Beijing was ready for friendly cooperation with Afghanistan. I'll show articles on that too. So China once dominated the rare earths market globally and threatened to cut off supplies to the U.S. during the trade war in 2019. That's a fact. And they also dominate the Congolese market. China, really works the Congolese mines. So China still got quite a corner on this. Yeah, so we don't know how much. Afghanistan's estimated to have trillions of dollars worth of these. So I'm not going to read this article, but I'm just pointing this out, guys. Afghanistan's rare earth elements such as lanthanum, cerium, neodymium, how do you say that? Veins of aluminum, gold, silver, zinc, mercury, lithium, and according to this guy, rare earth metals are used for everything: electronics, electric vehicles, and satellites, aircraft. Very true. Our technological world requires these rare earth minerals more than anything. It's for our technology, guys. I'm trying to change tabs, but now I'm fighting against Zoom. I hope you can hear me, guys. Pardon me. Try to talk a little louder. I worry also about drowning out the mic. Now I got very expensive mics, but they won't work with this computer. Not anymore. I got a couple mics like that. I have a couple of mics like that. But yeah, I need another computer. That's what I need. China seeks friendly ties with Afghanistan. Pakistan PM Prime Minister says Afghan broke shackles of slavery. You can tell who he's for. Imran Khan. Now, I quoted Imran Khan in articles where he's talked about his conflicts with India. Imran Khan's remarks came as thousands of people desperately tried to flee a war-torn country after Taliban's takeover. So he wasn't worried about their freedom, their shackles. So, you know, you see where he falls out on this stuff. Yeah, now listen, guys, I got friends from Pakistan and other countries, guys. And there's good people in every country on earth, of every background, from every village, from every religion, creed. But there's, you know, people that also take advantage of things. And there's also a lot of just misunderstandings in the world. And it doesn't help when we fan the flames of hatred, guys. It doesn't help. It doesn't mean we should roll over and take anything either. You know, you got to defend yourself. But at the same time, you need to know how to do it. You need to know how to do it. And we've been, you know, we've been smacking ants with sledgehammers, basically. And that's an awful thing because we take out the whole nest. We're going after a single one. Guys, I'm not going to read this article, but again, you can see what we're talking about here. The Taliban have repeatedly expressed their hope to develop good relations with China as they look forward to China's participation in reconstruction and development of Afghanistan. We welcome this. This is a Taliban spokesperson here. A she. Now that's interesting. Oh, no, this is a Chinese lady speaking for them. Sure, okay. But see, this is what's happening. A statement on Monday, the Chinese embassy said it does not plan to evacuate staff from Afghanistan amid the conflict. No, because they already had a good relationship. The Chinese embassy in Afghanistan has asked various functions in Afghanistan to ensure the safety of Chinese citizens, Chinese institutes, and Chinese interest in Afghanistan. Well, they've already got a good relationship. So I've even been told that from sources that the Chinese were actually funding the Taliban in advance of this. Especially once it was clear we were leaving, they started stepping up those meetings. They actually had meetings with the Taliban. We welcome the Taliban, says China, as they begin building good relations with terrorists. China's made a harrowing declaration that it welcomes the Taliban with open arms and the new regime in Afghanistan that wishes to develop good relationships with us. It's basically saying the same kind of stuff, it's different language in it. So we can see what it's all about. I am not going to read this, guys, but I got more articles to share on this stuff in the near future. There's tons of things going on out here. Opium wars, how the Taliban are stronger and richer than ever before after creaming billions of dollars in the world heroin trade. This is where they're growing heroin in Afghanistan, and apparently the Taliban has been already raking in a lot of money from this trade. Opium cultivation in Afghanistan. Oh, let's see how it's going up. It's like it peaked in 2017, but it's really strong. And apparently the Taliban has been raking this out. David Mansfield, a leading researcher into Afghanistan's illicit drug trade, said the Taliban earned millions from levies on opium production, heroin labs, and drug shipments. Washington spent an estimated $8.6 billion between 2002 and 2017 to throttle Afghanistan's drug trade in order to deny Taliban funds, according to 2018 Secret report. What? 8.6 billion, and yet look how the curve went. Whoop. Okay. Don't look like that worked out very well, like the war on drugs here in America. How well has that worked out, guys? I think it's backfired. I think it went the other direction. Like our war on poverty. How many trillions of dollars have we spent on the war on poverty? What just gave all the money to everybody directly? Well, that would end poverty, but no, the government has to administer it. That's what's wrong with it. And for those that love socialism, they think the government can handle everything. There's a few lessons in that for you if you would study it. Maybe I'll talk about it in the future. I'm gonna stop the share thing. That's all the articles I'm gonna share today. If I can stop it, well, stop share button don't want to work. Yikes. There we are. Halo. Yeah, this computer is kind of maxed out memory wise. It may crash. This video might even crash on. If it does, I am not going to come back in and try to. Just going to get what I got. I'm not going to redo it. You know, it's just too much trouble. Too much trouble. What I am going to do is try to kill an article or two here, so that I got a little memory. Hopefully, sometimes when you kill an article, that causes a spike, though. All right. See how that goes. All right, guys. Sorry about my little administrative actions I'm doing to try to keep my memory in check, to keep this video rolling. But I'm dealing with an older computer here. It's not very versatile, unfortunately. And just give me a second. So another one. Yeah, it's not freeing up much memory. I don't have to watch Task Manager constantly as I use this computer. All right, guys. So here's what we're facing. China stands to profit from this directly, perhaps by developing these assets for the Taliban, because China has the industrial and mining might, and they're close to Afghanistan. They could put it in there. They can marshal that like nobody else, and put the Taliban into a much more prosperous economy from doing that. The Taliban would actually be making a lot of money, including, and in addition to their open trade, which now they're going to be unfettered with that. So the Taliban is going to be raking in a lot of money. And I may do a video on what that can mean also in terms of where they might go, what they might actually do, the kind of weapon systems they might acquire, which might boggle your mind. That'll be a subject for another video. Yeah, you can probably already know where I'm going with that. So think about it. China is now, got a lock on a major part of the world. I'm going to hold another video too on what this may mean geopolitically in that region. There's a whole nother dimension on that, which is a whole different topic. It's got to do with prophecy. I'm going to go in there tonight though. But China has now this bragging right to go around telling about how weak the United States is, how we're an unreliable ally. So they've been trying to drive wedges between us and our allies all along. How's Japan taking this? How's Australia taking this? Hopefully they haven't lost too much resolve in those areas because they know what they're up against with China. But Taiwan, Taiwan is still standing strong. But China's trying to make them just quiver a little bit as much as they can. China's trying to reduce the resolve, to wear them down. China would like for Taiwan to just surrender. That's what they really like. But they won't. Their plan is to hit them. Apparently, our hope is that we can keep that off to such time that China just don't have the wherewithal to do it anymore. Because eventually their population is aging. And you got a lot of youth in China that's got this stand down, lay down philosophy that may just put China to the point that they really can't take on Taiwan, which is where they used to be. So hopefully that will take the military tensions away. But right now, suddenly China's got a whole new source for a lot more wealth through what they may get out of Afghanistan. So that would be of great advantage to both Afghanistan and China. Oh yeah, one of those articles, and what I didn't show in there was that, I didn't go through the whole article, was how China was working with them to say, as long as you don't, excite our Uyghurs, we can work together. Because China likes to, they got basically genocide against their indigenous Muslim population. And a lot of Muslim nations have ignored this because they were so seduced by having economic trade with China that they considered the economy more than religion in that regard. That's kind of interesting. But we'll see how long that lasts. That may be the wedge that could crack the whole thing apart. That's how China's treating their indigenous Muslims. It's not very good at all. But it could be that the prospects of development, that they get their feet on the ground, that the Taliban will turn a blind eye for a long time. I don't know, because we are their biggest target. That's why we kicked them to the ground. We held our foot on them, and we bombed their wedding parties. So, we can hope that they would just be happy to take the country and they'll sit there peacefully and not do anything else. Bank on that. Like I said, I've heard reports that all these weapons are actually going to be coming back, going through China and coming back through South America. If you're wanting to hit America and you're over with the Taliban, they might like that. How do you sneak them up through the Isthmus of Panama, or how do you get them around? Well, drugs are smuggled all over the place. They got airfields in America, the Chinese do. So I don't know, guys. It would take we'd have to have some major distractions for to pull that off. No kidding. There'd have to be something else really going on to pull that off. Will there be another 9/11? Maybe the topic of a whole other video. But it's, I've already seen articles claiming that, the 9/11 took us in, maybe bookended by another one after this. So it worked the 20th anniversary. Now, normally thinking it would take several months to stage a very complex event like that. Because that was a very complex event. Had a lot of pieces involved in it. Unless it's already in the plan. You'd think it would be at least 6 months or something like that. That would happen on the anniversary of our 9/11. Unless it's already in the works. Let's hope not. But Department of Homeland Defense is alluding to something might be cooking, something might be brewing. And there's a whole other video today. Who is on their terrorist watch list? So, what they're supposedly worried about, guys, it's hitting the fan. It is hitting the fan. I can do another video about what the government agencies are expecting of their contractors now. And we're getting new emails about every other day now, the expectations of what we're supposed to do going up and up and up. Well, you know what I mean. Some of us aren't exactly pleased by all this. And it's going to cause some problems. Probably, most likely. Loss of workforce, maybe. Loss of income for a lot of people. This is going to be hard to buy what we're trying to get people to do. That's a whole nother video. All right, guys. I just want you to realize that we are in tumultuous times. There's stuff going on. China is our biggest 900-pound gorilla in the world, except for maybe the World Economic Forum, which is supposed to be on our side, which is turning against us. Well, reset's a whole different topic too. There's a lot to cover on there. There's just so many topics to cover, guys. But it's really coming at us. It's coming a lot of ways. A lot of things are shaking right now, including the Earth. Including the Earth. Originally, before all this happened, I was going to do a video Sunday night or Monday on volcanoes, earthquakes, especially the volcanoes. Guys, if you're not preparing, what are you doing? Greg, I can't afford to prepare. We'll just start a little bit by little bit. Hey, just buy an extra can of beans, extra soup, a bag of dried beans, or something that's going to last a long time. Do it a little bit by little bit. Over time, it will build up. Just make sure you secure it good so that vermin don't get into it. 5-gallon buckets, seal it. Don't leave it out in pouches and packs. Don't go there. There's a whole nother video too. Only had time. All right, guys. I'm gonna do a video later tonight, if I hopefully maybe around midnight or so my time. We need to do a little prayer, guys. We need to pray for the people that's over there. We need to pray for the Afghan people. We need to pray for the people here that we don't have these kind of incidents. And I just got a message saying that we need an urgent prayer for 229 Christian missionaries. According to this message, it says they're scheduled to be beheaded tomorrow at noon. I guess the whole time, I don't know. I don't know exactly what's supposed to happen yet, but I've seen some other articles alluding to various groups appealing to various organizations, like including the Pope, to get them out. So there's a lot of people in peril right now, and they need our prayers. So I'm going to do a quick little video tonight on that. I'm not a religious channel, though, guys. This is not a religious channel. It's just I do believe in the power of prayer. I believe we can help people in some fashion through this process. Help the world. I covered that when I did a video called The Universal Soul Cup. I talked about relativistic and quantum physics and prayer. All in one video. All right, my friends. With that, I'm going to say, let me know you watch this video this far. Say, Greg, I hope and pray for the best and prepare for the worst. That's what you need to do. We haven't lost all hope, but guys, we are coming in for what looks like some trying times. Don't lose hope. Don't panic. And don't be scared. Be prepared. All right, guys. Thank y'all for watching.